Hello everybody and welcome to another Halachah Spotlight brought to you by OTN. Today is Wednesday, Parshas Ekev, Tafshin Pei Vav, and this Shaila was asked to me last week in person. It wasn't a listener submitted question, but he says like this. He has in his backyard these little bushes that are growing these small red berries on them. And his question was, do these bushes get included in the Isser of cutting down a fruit tree or not? Now the questioner did his research. He had taken a picture of the bush with the berries, and what do you do when you want to know something? He uploads it to AI, to ChatGPT, and it turns out that these berries are edible. Now they are very bitter, and they would only become tasty and maybe sweeter if you cook them and prepare them in a certain way, but technically they are edible. Okay, then he did a quick Google search, and it turns out that there's a psak online from Reb David, that if you have a type of berry or fruit that's not sold in the fruit stores, it doesn't go into the Isser of chopping down the tree, it's not called a fruit. And the questioner wanted to know, is this quote correct? Can he cut down these bushes? And I told him, I'm sorry, it's a misquote. How do I know? Because I was at a wedding a couple years back in Lakewood, sitting with Rav David, and someone came over to him and asked him about this exact quote. He also found it online and wanted to know if it's true. And Rav David told him, no, it's a misquote, it's not correct. Just because the fruit is not sold in stores does not make it inedible. It would still be included in the Isser to cut down the tree. If you get an expert, a botanist, or someone like that who says these fruits are inedible, then it would be much to cut it down. But based on the research from ChatGPT, we see these berries are edible. They're not poisonous at all, and they could potentially be made tasty. Maybe people won't want to do it. They're not going to be sold in stores, but technically they are edible, and therefore this type of tree would go into the Isser of cutting down a fruit tree. There may be other heterim which we could discuss at a different time, but as far as this heter of it not being an edible fruit, you would not have. Now, parenthetically, even if you do have some of the other heterim, which we could discuss later, Reb David said people in general are very hesitant to cut down a fruit tree, and rightfully so, because the Gemara Bava Kama says one of the Amayirayim lost his son because of cutting down a fruit tree. So we see it's a very severe thing, and presumably, even if you had a heter, it's still somewhat scary, and that's why people do not want to do it. Okay, but once again, regarding this berry, unfortunately, you will not be able to cut it down using this heter because it is considered a fruit. All the best, everybody. Take care.